Welcome back, guys. We just finished watching Black Widow. We're going to
Excited.
talk about the movie a lot. We'll probably talk about a lot of other shit, too. So just bear with us and
circle
enjoy the
back.
ride. So initial thoughts. We already got a little spoiler on Brock's initial thoughts pre-recording. So, Brock, you want to go first? Initial thoughts, quick reaction.
I think it sucked. I think it was one of the worst things I've seen Marvel put out in 10 years. It's horrible. It has no place in the MCU. It did nothing to advance any story. It wasn't even a good farewell for her. It's just terrible.
Brandon?
I thought it was a good movie.
I figured we'd get mixed reactions. I thought it was mediocre, so I think we hit all three. Now, there were some parts in this movie that I thought were some of the best parts of any Marvel movie. And then there were parts in this movie that I thought were some of the worst parts, which is where I kind of land in the middle. The third act really lost me. The first act was great.
Yeah.
The middle act had some really good stuff. They had some of the best banter and dialogue amongst the family that I thought was quippy and entertaining, but it was, while it was still Marvel quippy and entertaining, it didn't fall in that formulaic shit like in Civil War when Anthony Mackie and Winter Soldier run in and they see Spider-Man and they're like, who's that guy? Everybody gets a suit, it's just like you're all kind of fighting. That was that Marvel humor that always kind of comes in kind of at the wrong moments. This movie, I thought they did an excellent job of having humor moments and some good dialogue back and forth that didn't feel too out of place. Like,
I don't know.
there were some moments that didn't, but
There were very few. Like the moments that even like kind of caught me off guard is when, what is his name? The Crimson Moron.
Red Guardian.
yeah,
she
she
calls him
called him
Crimson
Crimson
Dynamo
Dynamo,
because that was Russia's version of Iron Man. And so she
Yeah.
was, I don't know if she was doing it as a dig or just like didn't care or didn't know.
Oh yeah.
like an Easter
But we
egg.
haven't seen it. Yeah, it's definitely an Easter egg because we haven't
the
seen
Crimson Moron. So I mean, like the character that is around that should not be around because he doesn't have any like, he could have plenty of impact but doesn't because they put this movie so out of order and then don't use these characters again. Like it does. He show back. I mean, all that stuff just like gets in my crawl bad because it's like, even if I like him, he's an important character, but he's never coming back.
I mean, he could. They didn't kill him.
Yeah, well, they didn't kill him, but he's worthless because he wasn't around for, this is a retcon story to introduce characters like pre-snap, and now we don't see him either way. So, like, why is he not
I mean, we haven't
early?
seen him post-snap. He probably got snapped, or even if he didn't get snapped, he could have been around. I mean, we can't
That's right,
see.
because this didn't take place after
Yeah, this
the
took
snap.
place like after Civil War.
Right.
Yeah.
But not
Pre-snap.
after the snap, right? Which we all thought this was a between the 5-year
Yeah.
gap movie. That's what we all kind of assumed. But
Yeah,
now we
it's-
found out
yeah,
this
way
is a
different.
pre-snap.
It's like
Which I think would've
post
been-
Age of Ultron, is it not? Like, is it
Yeah.
after Civil, or is it after Civil War?
Yeah, it's after Civil War, which was after Ultron.
Well, yeah, I know that. I just didn't know if it was in between because it's
No, because she's on the run from the Sokovia Accords.
Which is Civil War, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Civil War.
yeah, you're right.
That's why they were arresting him.
So yeah, this is definitely pre-snap because she's still. Go ahead.
Go kind of back up to Act 1 when she hid up in the subway away from Taskmaster. At that point in the movie, I was like, "This is the best James Bond movie I've ever seen." Because I was, more invested in these characters than I am James Bond, obviously. But just the action and
Do you mean Cobra Commander? Because you said
No, I said Taskmaster.
Cobra Commander. He had the hood, or she
yeah,
had the hood.
yeah, that's what Taskmaster has is a hood.
Well, the way they did the costume looks like the G.I. Joe version of.
Yeah, because he's got the combat helmet or gear or whatever.
I don't have
real-
a problem
real
with the
quick,
helmet.
Yeah.
Let's get to the controversial stuff because you keep referring he because Taskmaster
Yeah.
is a he in the comic books.
Yeah.
What did you think of that reveal?
It's super obvious. Like
Was
everybody.
it
Yeah.
super obvious?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was
As soon
the
as
daughter.
as soon as the guy wasn't, they like alleged that the guy's not dead. The daughter's got to be his version of a super soldier that is left, and that's what Cobra Commander was. I'm not even calling it Taskmaster because
Taskmaster was awesome.
it was
awesome
potentially
till that point.
Was
the
awesome.
costume
Up until
was
it's a
trash.
girl?
Not because it's a girl. It that's where it felt just kind of lame. Like I don't have a problem with Taskmaster being.
I mean,
a woman,
it makes sense in this universe since the Taskmaster is his right hand man. Like he,
woman.
That he only recruits women.
He only recruits women. He only turns women into the ultimate weapons, right? Like the guys are his kind of cannon fodder or whatever that are his little goons, but his assassins and the ones that he uses for his missions are all women. So I mean, it makes sense that he,
Yeah, it does. I mean, that sort of is not bad at all. That's the only thing that's not bad about.
What got lame after the reveal was, for me, the fear of Taskmaster was gone, because then we knew he was going to end, or we'll say we'll just say Taskmaster. We knew Taskmaster. I knew Cobra Commander was going to end in this movie at that point, because Black Widow is going to use the red juice on him. All that was kind of coming, and then
see, that's super super cheesy. I thought that they'd use the red stuff on her, and she would. Maybe have broke her leg or something and couldn't move, but still wanted to kill her, and you would see that.
And that it wasn't, she didn't care about the.
It wasn't mind control; it was rage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? I mean, maybe it was mind control to to the extent that with which she went after her. Like maybe she didn't have that inner strength, like the pig didn't have the inner strength to not breathe when you told it to.
Yeah.
But you give her the serum, and then she can. She's like, I still hate you.
I would have rather her still hated Black Widow, so we still had an evil,
kind of like an Anakin Skywalker at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I fucking hate you. Yeah, look what you did to me.
I'd rather have a bad guy Taskmaster.
See, that would have been
good guy Taskmaster.
Yeah, because might not even have a good guy Taskmaster now.
But
it might
for
just
story
be gone
purposes, like that's one of the things like Yelena says to her in the gas station or whatever, is that I'm not the little killer on the cover of magazines that girls look up to, because she murdered, they think she murdered that little girl so she could get out. And it was kind of like the redeeming, she's not dead, so I want to save her. Kind of redeems Black Widow a little bit.
Black Widow didn't need to be redeemed. That's the thing that's so crappy and so terrible about the whole movie, is that you already love her as a character. She could do anything in her past is wrote off. We already think that. We already know that. So there's nothing she can do that can nullify the fact that she saved the entire universe and that she sacrificed herself to do it. There's already a happy ending for her. We don't
can't get more of an ultimate redemption than what she did.
Yeah, it's not even close. Like you making it a air quotes feel good movie in this regard doesn't set the universe up going forward. It doesn't help.
Well, I don't think it's made
give
to
her depth or anything. It's
make us love her more, if because we do already love her. I think it was just to, it was a flesh her character out. But if you did love her less, then she redeems herself. Because
I love her less because it was a terrible movie and she was a producer. The character is not improved in any way by the movie.
I mean,
I agree.
I don't think they could improve her anyway. I mean, her character arc is over. It's just an addition.
Yeah, but I mean,
I agree. I have to agree with a lot with Brock here. It's an addition to her character, but why? Because we know what happens. This is just kind of, I guess, a send-off, and I guess, to give the character of Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson their due, give them their standalone movie. But, what was gained from this movie other than telling... This felt like a side quest in an RPG where I decided, all right, I'm going to take a break from the main quest and do this side quest. You go and do a side quest in The Witcher 3
after you've already beat the game?
Yeah, after you've already beat the game, you go back and do a side quest. And, it's self-contained and it doesn't have any effect. You could have ignored it. You could have watched it.
The post-credit scene is the only thing that adds anything to the universe, and it barely adds anything at all because we know that there's going to be there's some manipulation out there from whoever that woman is, and then they're going to tie her in as a new Black Widow. We know those two things, but you probably already knew that coming into the series, and we didn't have to do it in that fashion.
Looks like they're going to pit her against Clint in the Hawkeye series, though.
Yeah.
So she's.